Here we are, our brand new planner, Lyndsey.
Welcome.
Lyndsey from Frisco. Freaky Frisco. Welcome.
I thought you said Crisco. I was like, where's that?
Not Frisco.
Not Crisco.
What part of Texas is that?
I don't know, but there's a Cresco, Iowa, so you don't want to be probably from there. So there's that. But welcome, Lyndsey. We're happy to have you. Today's your intro call, and you better buckle up. You better buckle up because these are fun. First, foremost, favorite cocktail.
Vodka cranberry.
That's a go-to for me. It really is. The what is it? Crap, I'm gonna forget the name of it now. Deep Eddy's cranberry vodka.
Oh, okay.
Is a legit thing. So we'll have to get that. But the reason we ask is because we always dive into who you are. We're psychologists, if you didn't know. We have degrees.
I figured that out.
Yeah.
It kind of comes with the territory, right?
Right? Is what does that say about you as having the vodka cranberry? So, Ryan, you have low bandwidth, it said. What does it say about you? Well, one, vodka in itself is... Did you pin her?
I sure did.
Don't look like she's pinned. Oh, that's weird. Okay, anyways. So cranberries, tart, a winter thing, right? They get flooded in a field. So cranberry meaning, so you're a little tart of a person, but...
Okay, start over. You have failed.
Can we start over?
I have no idea. I don't know what to talk about cranberries.
You let her describe why.
No, our thing is we're supposed to then coax it out.
Okay.
But we'll go with that because I have nothing for cranberry. I have nothing.
It's red.
It's red. It's tart.
It's sweet.
It's tart.
It is. Cranberries are not.
Is red your favorite color?
Sweet.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Sweet.
Okay. So why vodka cranberry? Where did that come from?
So I used to be a CrossFit crazy. And that was one of the very few things that I could drink that didn't have a ton of stuff in it. And so I would have usually a vodka cranberry with diet cranberry because there's no sugar in that.
And then it just kind of stuck.
And then it stuck. Yep. And then I try different kinds of vodkas. And so I usually go with Kettle One.
That's solid. I'm a Tito's and Deep Eddy's. Those are my go-to for vodkas.
I don't drink vodka.
And you're not from Texas?
I am not from Texas. But my neighbors, they buy Tito's by like the vat. Like I've never seen bottles this big. I don't know where they get it. And so I've always wanted to be like, well, why don't we just invest in some Tito's? Because our partners that are out of Houston, actually, one of their advisors knows like one of the high execs at Tito's.
Really?
And has always tried to get like their 401k plan. And I'm like, screw the 401k plan. Let's just get on the give us vodka plan.
Fair.
I'll give you advice for some vodka.
It's a fair trade.
Pay your taxes. Give me some vodka. Invest your money. Give me more vodka. Like I think it'd be fun.
You said Kettle One. Do you like Grey Goose?
Yeah, I do.
So you mentioned Sam's Club earlier. I think Sam's Club's vodka, their brand, is like the exact same thing as Grey Goose.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See,
Fun
I'm
little
good at
flaw.
math, so I don't buy Grey Goose.
It's Sam's Club Grey Goose.
Smart. So
But now that I know that, I'm going to have to try it out, Ryan. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Because we're members.
So Kettle One and cranberry. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty legit. I'm more of either just a straight bourbon or a rum. That's my go-to.
I just am all over the place.
He's young. He hasn't found his way yet.
No, I mean, I get bored easily. It's like an ADHD thing with what I'm drinking. So I might be on a whiskey fix or a bourbon fix for a long time, and then I'll switch to vodka. Then I'll switch to rum. And then right now it's a Bud Light Seltzer hard soda, and it's actually pretty good.
Vodka reminds me of just
These seltzer drinks, I don't understand
I
them.
don't either.
Cereal.
However,
I don't
seltzer,
understand it.
get a seltzer and put a shot of vodka in it. Yep, I can do that.
That's fair.
I can do that. But no, vodka lemonades on the golf course. That's it. That's my spot. It's my jam. I'll do Tito's and lemonade all day on the course.
That's
literally all day on the course.
can't really say no to that.
How could you? It's refreshing, gets the job done, makes me feel better about my swing, makes my swing worse, but makes me feel better about it. So.
Keeps you relaxed, all
Exactly.
the things.
All the above.
Exactly.
Sometimes when I have my kids, it makes me forget that they're running around.
Recreational
And
golf.
forget
I
them.
just drive off. It's fine.
Just
They'll
don't forget
catch
the
up.
kids.
Recreational golfing.
Recreational coffee.
So were you drinking
what do
that
you drink?
drink before CrossFit, or it started during CrossFit?
It started around that time, and it's easy.
It is.
So the real thing was with that too, like last year. So I have a 9-month-old, and a lot of my friends didn't know that I was pregnant because I was still able to do the whole water cranberry juice thing, and nobody knew.
That's an easy hide. I didn't even think about that. That's a good one.
That is very good.
That's a good one. Okay. Well,
Yeah, so I'm a beachy drink
you're
person.
beachy?
Yeah. Mai Tais, margaritas.
Miami Vice.
Pretty
Miami
much.
Vice?
Good
The fruity
Chardonnay,
ones?
So, yeah.
Brian's a fruity drink guy. He is a fruity drink, like a princess.
Oh, boy.
However, I bring him up because he has a CrossFit background. He had all that. He owned a gym and managed as well. So
Yes.
you'll have a little connection on the CrossFit side. I did CrossFit for a few months. And then my
No.
body said,
No.
nah, football broke you. You should probably
Exactly.
You should probably stick to body weight only.
Yeah. So we've rewinded a little bit into the CrossFit days, like you said. Let's rewind all the way back, though.
Oh,
all the way back.
When
Oh, boy.
when Lyndsey was a
way
wee one.
back.
Exactly.
Wee one. So start. Where are you from? Where were you born, actually? And then where do you consider where you're from? Because that could be different, right?
They are
Could be
different.
See?
They're
Done.
very different. So I was born in Bloomington, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Hence the Bears
so
fan.
What?
I said hence the Bears fan.
Yeah.
it's the Bears fan. Yes, and I am from Strawn, Illinois.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
No, I'm sure you have not, because there's 150 people that live in Strawn, Illinois.
Oh, wow.
Is that close to Bloomington?
It's about 45 minutes north of Bloomington, northeast of Bloomington.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, at least you're not like most Chicago people I know that say I'm from Chicago and they're like, one of the suburbs that are an hour away. So at least you recognize that there's a
I'm not
45-minute
from
difference. That's fair. No, nor were any of them. Like I only have like
I'm
4.
from the cornfields, let's put it that way.
Aren't we all?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I always say I had corn in my backyard. Everyone would believe me.
They still believe
They
us.
still-
I do have corn in my backyard.
Okay,
travel
there you
and
go.
I
I
you do.
don't. I don't.
We travel and I'm like, yeah, originally from Omaha and live in Iowa. And they go, are there just cornfields there? I'm like, yes. Yep. I farm every day. I have
rode
to
a
drive
tractor to
through.
school.
Yeah. I drive a tractor. I don't actually have a truck. Like that. It's 2022 people.
Sometimes I ride my horse to work,
Right.
Exactly. We have a good connection from George. He's a wrestling connection for us, and he's like, yeah, I just know places in Iowa by how many cornfields are in between. That's how I count. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
fair.
Make it interesting.
That's fair. Okay. So, born and where you consider you're from. Why don't you talk us through your childhood up until high school?
Up until high school. Okay. Wow. That's a whole lot.
I told you we get deep.
So I was raised on a farm. So my dad's a corn and soybean farmer. And my mom actually, people always think I'm crazy when I say this, but my mom she was the manager of a turkey farm. And so I grew up on a turkey farm, and there was like 27,000 birds at our house.
Wow.
In
Yeah,
your house
so-
or around your house?
Yeah.
All over?
Not in the house, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There.
There.
Let's see. What else about that? I don't know. My parents got divorced when I was really young. So did the whole back and forth to mom and dad's type of thing on the weekends. And yeah, what else do you want to know? Like, what question?
Was there an elementary school in Strawn that you went to, or what was the school there?
Great question. There was not an elementary school in Strawn. So the school district I'm from in Central Illinois is called Prairie Central, and it's a consolidated school district. I believe it's still the largest consolidated school district in Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. So I rode the bus every morning. We got on the bus at like 7:10, and was bused to the grade school. And yeah, walked up the lane, down the lane.
What was it like growing up there? What was it like growing up?
So I think it was a pretty normal childhood, but the more I've told people about, like, I grew up on a turkey farm, like part of my daily routine was mom would get up, go work at the turkey farm, and then we get on the bus and went to school. A lot of people got dropped off as kids, and it was like a special thing if we got dropped off at school, because school was 12 miles round, well, 14 miles round trip for mom in the morning. So it was kind of a special thing for us. But childhood was awesome. My mom is super strong, super independent. So she definitely instilled that in my sister and I. I have one sister, so she's a big part of my childhood too. Yeah.
Were you into sports or really just farm? Okay,
yeah,
sports. What'd you do?
Big into sports, yep. I played softball, basketball, and a little bit of volleyball, but gave that up in junior high. So
what was your favorite?
Softball.
Softball?
What position?
I played third base or shortstop most of the time.
Third base.
Hot corner.
Hot corner? No
Hot
way.
corner, major league.
You don't like third base?
In fact, in junior high, I took a softball off my chest because I thought she was bunting and she pulled back and slapped.
See?
So that was fun.
Nope. I had to play third base one game because not enough players showed up. And I'm usually shortstop or outfield, right? I don't like third base. I know being a pitcher that I don't like third base. So in the middle of this game, and I'm running out there doing warm-ups, and I see like a pebble, like a little rock in front of me. And I'm like, I should go move that rock. I really should. What are the odds that little ball is going to hit that, right? I'm like, fine, whatever.
So you left the rock.
I left it because he was pitching. I didn't have time to go do it. I said, I'll get it next pitch, right? So I'm like, all right, take my stance and just hear ping. And I see ball, see rock, and then ball hits eye. That was it. It was that quick.
No.
So now my eye's swelling up. Granted, we still don't have enough players. So I have to go bat.
You have to play.
I have to play with one eye. At third base, by the way, that just took out one eye. Okay? So next at bat, I hit the ball, and I can't see the field because it's my left eye. So I'm running at the base, and all I can see is the base. And then all of a sudden, I can't see the base. I tripped over it. I just like, was I safe? And they're like, yeah, you were. And then they gave me a steal sign, and I stole second, and then our reinforcement showed up. And that was the day before spring break, and I could not see out of an entire swollen eye. So I loathe third base entirely. So I'm proud of you for being a third baseman. All right, so
my school coach gave me a makeup kit when I graduated high school. He's like, you totally need this for all the bruises that you have on your body.
Nice.
We had a second baseman in high school that he was probably one of the worst clean fielders I've ever seen in my life, but he would put his body in front of everything. So that kid probably needed the same treatment. He just, yep, I'm going to wear it off the chest. I'll knock it down. I know I have time to throw it over to first base, and I'm good. We're like, what are you doing?
You're not supposed to play catcher in the field.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it worked.
Probably worked.
It did. It did.
All right, so that's early childhood, high school, where our development years are, apparently. Talk us through high school.
How was it?
Yeah.
High school was good. I don't know. I would say looking back, like junior high and high school, I really did not like. Like college is kind of my jam. But high school was good. So played sports, played softball and basketball all 4 years. That was good. I actually helped out with the football team for most of high school also because I started off in school as a physical therapy major. And so I was shadowing with the athletic trainer to kind of learn some of that stuff on the side. So it was a great experience in building my hours for college applications. So that was good.
Well, Lisa's wife's a PT and my wife's a PTA. So we know about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of PT
You know
in this
all
room.
about those.
We know all about that. We're knee deep in the PT game. So good for you for not choosing that path.
Yeah, I did. And then it quickly changed.
Yeah.
So we haven't talked about this either, but this is probably a good time to talk about it. So you went to Drake.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I went to Bradley my first year and transferred to Illinois State thereafter.
To both of those.
Can I hit that button as well?
Yeah. Oh, also because Ryan went to UNI, so.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So You're not MVC. Sorry.
I'm not MVC.
You're not
So
the NBC
Lisa,
table.
It's
I
totally
guess
fine.
we're meant to be together
Yeah,
here.
it's totally fine. So we're good.
We're fine. I wasn't part of the MVC. I get it.
But I was.
I went to Drake grad school, but I didn't
Yeah,
have a.
she went to Drake grad, so
I went to
there's a
Drake grad
little
school,
bit
but I don't have
of
an affinity. She
there's
can
a
go
little
wherever
bit
she
there.
wants.
there's a little bit there. So wanted to be a PT. Decided quickly not to do that.
did.
Played sports. How did you end up? First of all, where did you go to college first, and why?
Yeah, so I went to Bradley University first. And the reason I went to Bradley first is because I was accepted directly into their MPT program, or their Master's in Physical Therapy program. It was the only school within a reasonable amount of time from Central Illinois that had a 5-year, not a 6-year program to be a PT at the time. So that's why I chose Bradley. Realized pretty quickly that chemistry is not my forte.
Heard that.
Not my jam.
Heard that.
The only chemistry I know is that this makes my body feel better. Like that's chemistry for me.
But no, Bradley had a pretty strict program with it. So I was not ready for college because I was a straight A student in high school, like never really studied, didn't have to try too hard, right?
Oh, excuse us.
I know. Then I get to college and I actually had to study, and I never really had, like, I didn't know how to study. So yeah. So needless to say, I didn't flunk out my first or second semester, but I did have the worst grades of my life. So I was a BC student, which was unheard of for me. And C's in chemistries don't get you into pre-med courses. So yeah.
No, but I would have been thrilled with a C in chemistry. I didn't have to take chemistry, but I would have gave up a kidney to get a C in chemistry.
I had the same thing.
Starting out in
I
like-
took biology,
did.
and
I
that was
did.
it. Good.
Starting out in like early chem was okay, and then as soon as organic chem came into play, I'm like, yeah, you know what?
I was
I'm good.
I was
I'm
in
good.
the
I'll
finance.
pass.
That's why I switched to psychology.
I was in the finance path the whole way.
Essays.
Numbers and
Essay.
money. Stick there. Essays. Yeah, no thank you. I walked
love
into
essays.
I
hate
walked into
multiple choice.
psychology class with one of the hardest professors at Drake, and she gave us the syllabus, that thing, right? You're supposed to go to that day, only day you usually go to. And it had like 14 papers that were all like 30 pages and like 6 tests. And I opened the book and it was like gibberish. And I went, well, we're going to go ahead and withdraw from this class right now. So I did. And I picked up meteorology, and that was an
Now
easy
you're
A.
using psychology all the time.
And now
which
I'm
is really
using it
funny.
all, which is great. Yeah, it's fun. I could.
So really, after like the second semester, I was probably halfway through the second semester at Bradley, and I was like, yeah. So I really love Bradley, like everything that's there. I just don't really like the price tag of it because, again, I'm good at math.
Yeah.
So I kind of sat back and looked at it and was like, yeah. So now I'm on the 6-year track at a private university. I don't know that this is going to make the most financial sense for me. And so that's when I looked at changing majors and schools at the same time. And so that's when I transferred to Illinois State with an accounting and computer science major.
Ooh,
This
accounting.
is where the IT comes
Yeah.
This is where that
This
comes
is,
in. Yeah.
What years were you at Illinois State?
2001 through 2004.
Awesome.
I know. I used to get the reaction that I was super young when I told people that, and
Yeah.
now I get the reaction.
I get the other
I'm
one.
still older.
Yeah, yes.
Wiser.
That's wiser. Yeah.
Wiser.
Wiser.
Yeah.
Wisest.
More wisdom.
Well, Illinois State.
So how was your experience there?
Nope.
I loved it.
Loved it.
Loved it. Yeah, it was big enough that I could get lost, but at the same time knew a lot of people, and that was a good fit for me. And then as far as coursework went, like I loved most of my professors. Like I had really good professors all along the way. There's a couple of them that I didn't really jive with. So I think the couple of the off classes I took along the meteorology lines, I took badminton one semester and anthropology. And my anthropology teacher was awesome.
See, Drake didn't have those. Meteorology was probably, and we had anthropology, but like Michelle, my wife, had golf. I would have jumped through the moon to get to have golf. Did you guys have any?
Oh yeah, we had all that stuff. The best part about it
it's-
was
Drake's a better program than all of those.
well, the best
from
part
an
about it was
education
I could
standpoint.
use-
It's whatever.
I could use those classes towards my coaching.
That's
certification.
Cool. Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
have any of that.
So that was
It's really-
nice.
It's really disappointing. actually.
So I did like soccer theory. Wrestling theory was actually a course up there taught by the old wrestling coach.
That's
so
cool.
it was
That's cool.
it was awesome being a wrestler
I
and
had-
then having your old wrestling coach in there.
I had world history. World history, meteorology were my, what are those things called? Prereq, whatever they are.
Gen Eds.
Gen Eds, yeah. Mm-hmm. Because at Drake, you go straight to your major. So I had accounting immediately and failed accounting 40 very, very quickly. But then I knew that I don't need to be on the accounting path. I need to go to the other side really, really fast. Hence why we have a business partner, Brian Morrow, who's a CPA. I couldn't. I don't get it. I don't understand it. So, all right. So you go from being brave to a dirty red bird.
Yes, I did.
So you're graduating, right? Now you're graduating. What happened after graduation?
So I'm going to back up a little bit because when I transferred into Illinois State, that's when I started working at State Farm. So I worked at State Farm corporate for 14 years as the first part of my professional career. And I started working there when I was still in college. So I was taking full load, like more than a full load. I was taking 18 hours of classwork and working 30 hours a week at State Farm.
Good for you.
Kudos to you.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
that's what happens when your parents are broke. You have to work.
Oh, I mean, I bounced at a bar. My parents didn't work. I just bounced at a bar. I didn't think to go,
Yeah,
work
I
for
mean,
real
I was a
corporate,
I was a
real
DJ for
like
the perks.
Oh, okay. So she's a better
I worked
person.
in the call center at State Farm for the first, 2.5 years that I was
Good calls.
Yeah, right.
in college. Yeah.
So I bet you have some call stories.
Oh, do I?
That's probably for
That's a
different
different
day,
Off
camera.
Yeah, that's a different one. Okay, so you're better than us, so you start your career in college, and so you graduate. So then you just stay at State Farm, correct?
I did, yep. So I was in the call center at first, and then right after the call center, after I got my big girl job, I moved into IT.
See, this is why we really hired her.
IT.
We are not good at IT.
IT.
We try. IT. So why IT? And then what happened? Because you're no longer in IT.
Because I am not in IT anymore. Yeah. So I became really interested in IT because of my aunt and uncle. They both work at the University of Illinois in their, I don't even know if they call it that anymore, but the supercomputer department. So like, in addition to like the basketball and softball camps and that kind of stuff that I did as a kid growing up, I went to computer camp.
Here's the nerd side.
I told you I was a nerd.
Where's my nerd alert button, Chase?
need it.
I need my nerd alert button. This is like the 12th time.
Nerd alert. I'm going to find you that button because we need one of those for sure. But,
Absolutely.
so that's really when I decided to change my major and went from Bradley to Illinois State. The computer science part of that came from those experiences. But yeah, so loved IT, loved it. I never thought I would leave IT until I got to a point where I loved what I was doing. I was putting in all the hours, and I realized that I'm still working for somebody. I don't have control of my time, freedom, flexibility, schedule, all that jazz.
Yeah, got to get out of corporate quickly.
Yeah, I waited too long.
Well, that you're here now, okay?
I am here now.
It's all that matters.
Exactly.
You found your path, and your journey is here.
That's right.
See, I am a psychologist.
Yeah, exactly.
Not taking that class worked out well.
Yeah.
All right, so State Farm for, what'd you say, 13 years?
14.
Yeah, 14 years.
Now,
And
then what?
I was in different places. So I was in IT for 6 to 8 years, and then went to marketing for a temporary opportunity, spent some time in innovation there, and then ended up back in IT before I left.
And so are all these in Illinois, or where are you at?
Yeah, all at corporate
Okay.
office there in
Okay.
Bloomington, Illinois.
Nice. Okay, so that State Farm path ends. Then what?
Yeah, that State Farm path sort of ended. I left corporate in 2015 and opened a State Farm agency here in the Dallas, Texas area.
So how the hell did you get from Illinois to Dallas?
So
A
State Farm
plane.
did.
Yes, I get it. It's a plane.
Yeah,
Don't be a
plane.
smart
Or a
ass.
car.
I was
Or
gonna
car.
not
Don't be a
try and
smart
smart
ass,
about
okay?
that,
Set that
She
one
flew.
up.
She flew.
but I drove and we
I
flew.
drove.
My stuff came on a truck.
Okay. I got the smart ass comments out of the way. So what was the purpose? How about that?
Yeah, the purpose was actually to open my State Farm agency. So at the time, I mean, and still, I didn't want to open a business in Illinois for obvious reasons.
There's no tax or corruption or anything going on there. It's fine.
That happened. Yeah, not goodness. But I knew I wanted to be a State Farm agent because I knew that would be a smarter way to leave corporate America and go into something that I knew was pretty for certain, right? So opened my agency down here. I had to go through a selection process. So you can only have an agency where they have openings for agencies. And so I expressed an interest in Texas, specifically the Dallas area. And from there got connected, the whole thing with who do you know type of thing, right? Like I knew somebody that had a friend in Dallas and he connected us, and that's how I ended up here. So, yeah.
Awesome. So Dallas in 2015.
Yeah, 2015.
And then when did your State Farm eventually or absolutely end? What happened? And
I totally slammed the door shut on State Farm in 2018.
There it is. Gone in 2018.
You said goodbye. Walked away.
See you later. Probably, but I'm never coming back.
I'm out.
What precipitated that?
Again, I'm really good at math. So I could project what my agency was going to look like down the road. And so there was a pretty big investment for me to become a State Farm agent. So I was able to project out like how long it was going to take me to recover that investment. Mm-hmm. And I knew that I needed to walk away from it. And so that's what I did. And then I went to New York Life. That was kind of like, I knew I wanted to get into financial advising. Wasn't really sure how.
Why did you like going from State Farm? Because that's clearly not in the advising planning world. What made you think that like, hey, I want to then go into advising?
Yeah. So most people don't think about State Farm that way, but they do have a pretty big financial services arm.
Yeah, it's just not good.
They do a little bit of life health and some mutual funds, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So because of that experience, I got interested in what they were doing in that space. But just sitting down and talking to people and hearing them talk about the trouble that they were having managing personal finances, I started bringing people in and helping them with their budgets, literally just on my own as a State Farm agent, because I just kept hearing the same things from the same people all the time. And I like to help people. So that's what I did. Sat down and helped them understand what a budget was and how it worked.
Do you think that's because how you were raised? Well, one, Midwest people, that's just what we do. We love to help others. But do you think having, your parents going through a divorce, getting raised by a mom who helped you through everything, and then having a sister, do you reflect back now to be like, oh, I want to help people and get them and help them go to where they need to go? Do you think that comes from how you were raised?
Oh, absolutely. So we missed a big part of my story then. So we'll hit that all now because it kind of goes across all those things that you just talked about. So my mom didn't make a lot of money growing up. Like she raised two girls making like $25,000 a year, right? And so we were always told no because she couldn't afford something, not because she didn't want us to have it. So when I got my big girl corporate job, I knew that I needed to be mindful of my money and how to make it work for me. And so I found some mentors that really helped me in that space. First, it started just being coworkers talking about the 401k plan at work and what they were contributing. And thankfully, I was in an area where there was a lot of people around me that were maxing out their 401ks. And like the first time they told me that, I was like, you're doing what? I'm sorry, you're giving how much money away? But those people really helped me. And then I got a mentor that literally told me to sit down and read two books. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Absolutely.
And Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey.
Yep.
And he said, you will find yourself happily somewhere in the middle of the two of them. Just pick your spot and run with it.
I love that.
And so that's really what got me interested in personal finance.
I think it's great advice. We'll cut to kind of our viewers now at this point, but that's a great point. Those two books, specifically Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I think the point you made was you need to find where you're at in your journey. And yes, those two are, I guess, would be two good pillars to go between. You're really rarely going to be 100% the other way. And I think that's the whole journey of what we do as planners and what we do at Black Mammoth is it's a journey. And you need to realize that every day, every month, every year is going to be different. And you need to learn who you are. And once you find your path, then you really can attack whatever plan it is. So Whoever that mentor is, shout out to you for that
Jason
advice.
Potts. Yeah, Jason Potts.
Yeah, Jason Potts. There you go. Because they put you on that path, and now look where you're at. And now, obviously, you know what we do at Black Mammoth, so you're going to be able to help even more people than before. But all right, we'll cut back into just about Lyndsey now.
And we're back.
And we're back. Lyndsey.
And we're back. So after reading those books and kind of hearing his perspective on that, Jason did a lot for me. Like, he taught me how to set goals appropriately and how to, you know, really manage my personal finances, align my personal finances with my life goals, essentially. So super thankful to him for that. But that's really when I started to pursue my designations in the industry and learn more about personal finance. And it really started from I want to know more about how to help myself. And then after that, it really switched to, okay, now all these newbies that are coming to work with me, I can help them too, in the same way that Jason and others helped me kind of organize my personal finances too.
And what's your alphabet soup? What are all your designations?
Oh, there's a lot of them. The first, well, I don't even know what the first one was. I forget what it is. It was a basic one. And then I have a CLU and a CHFC are the two major ones that I carry. I also have a CFE, which not a lot of people know what that one is.
What is that?
What is it?
It stands for Certified Financial Educator.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
Which one do you hold more dear and dear to your heart and feel like you get the most out of?
the CHFC.
Yeah.
Because it's all the things. It was really hard. Like sitting for the last exam, I was just like, I'm just so ready for this to be done. But no, it's proved to help me the most out of all of them.
Good. Awesome. Okay. So you're interested now, you're getting your designations and you're leaving, you're at New York Life.
Yeah.
Talk us through kind of how that was and how it transpired for you to leave there at that point.
Yep. So I had another mentor I reached out to about, I'm leaving State Farm. I want to get into financial advising. Where should I go? And this person told me to pick one of the big life insurance companies to get some experience with. And so the ones he told me about were New York Life, Mass Mutual, and Northwestern Mutual. And so I talked to all of them. I just generally felt more comfortable at New York Life because I had some acquaintances that were there already. So I went there. It was a great experience. Ended up sitting in one of the top advisors' office with New York Life across the nation, basically, and learned a little bit from him and learned a lot about how I would do things differently. And then I realized pretty quickly that wasn't going to be a good long-term option for me because I didn't want to always have to lead with a specific product or service. And so that's when I went into, made the next transition over to WealthWave, which was more of an independent brokerage model, but not as independent still as I was looking for. So,
Do all four of us have something in common?
You mean leading with a product at a life insurance company?
Yep.
Yes.
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
You're right. So fun fact, we all came from the similar background, right? Lisa over at Principal and what was technically
Guardian.
Okay. And Ryan from Guardian. And then me from Modern Woodman. So we really have that similar background. And I think as you go through the industry, that's the normal path. Well, it used to be the normal path. You get into an insurance company, you figure things out, and then grow from there. And now, we're kind of all in the same spot. But all right, so WealthWave, talk us through that, and then why, and then the most important of the whole thing.
Yeah, why?
Why Black Mammoth?
Why?
Right. So talk us through that.
Okay, so transition from New York Life to WealthWave really came about because I was looking for that independent type of a model. Again, connections are so important in life. And so I actually have a really good friend whose dad helped found WealthWave, or what is World Financial Group, more broadly known.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was one of the 4 founding members, his dad was. And so I was like, well, this is probably a pretty good place to go because I see the life that they have. I see what it looks like for them. And that seems like a pretty good model. So went there. I loved it because it interacting with people and really teaching basics about personal finance, which is good. It got to a point where I wanted to do more with clients though. And that's essentially what led me to Cheryl Hickerson from Females in Finance.
Oh,
Shout out Cheryl.
Shout out Cheryl.
I think she's on every episode now.
She's the GOAT.
I'm pretty sure she's been brought up on every
She's
episode.
the GOAT.
She's the GOAT.
She
Not
is
to
the
mention
GOAT.
the first guest ever. So, I mean,
Yeah.
she's just amazing. Shout out, Cheryl. And then, so you posted in Females in Finance on Facebook, I
Yes.
believe it was. And your question was?
And my question was, does anybody have experience helping clients with investment banking assets?
Yes.
And it was like, immediately Cheryl was like, Stoy Hall. And I was like, who's this guy?
Right? The hell is that guy? And so then we talk.
And here we are.
Chat. And we're dealing with SBLCs and clients and moving pallets of money potentially and just like everything everywhere. And I think, I told you, pretty sure that first call I said, like, just join us then. If you have all these opportunities, why wouldn't you work for us? Like, come join us because you can do it all, right? We obviously are doing a podcast. We've all been through that compliance hellhole of like, don't say things, right? Don't name drop, don't do marketing ever. If you write an article, it'll get approved in like 2 weeks, those types of things. And that's why I told you, hey, just come on over. What do you believe is like the, I guess the final straw or the main reason for you wanting to move in and take on our vision and start this journey?
Yeah, so I think one of the most exciting things about it for me is that it's young. It still feels like a little bit of startup mode.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about that because that's pretty much been everything that I've done up to this point has been startup in nature. We didn't talk about the fact that I have helped start some other businesses in the past.
We're getting to Byron soon. Don't worry.
Yeah,
We can't forget the spousey spouse. Don't worry.
No. But I think just that opportunity in of itself to be able to come in and help teach, learn a lot myself, obviously, and then ultimately be able to help clients in ways that I knew existed and have wanted to help them with, but haven't been able to because of broker-dealer compliance in the past. So
good old compliance.
Yeah. So you mentioned, helping people with budgets and different stuff at State Farm. Along with those budgets, and obviously you have a competitive side in nature with sports and getting into CrossFit as well. And you talked about goals. Is that a big portion that you talk about with clients or want to talk about with clients in the future is, setting those goals and reaching those goals in the future?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's like, tell me a little bit about yourself and then tell me what your goals are.
Yeah. There we go.
For sure. So, all right. So we got through it. We got through why you're here. And now the most important thing is you wouldn't have gotten here if hubby didn't probably approve and or be involved with, right? We all have spouses. We know how that goes. So,
Gotta make your own decisions.
Full disclosure, I've only met Byron once and it was via Zoom. Seems like a good cat. But talk us through kind of how that went, right? Not only the meeting we had, but your guys' whole background and being entrepreneurs and a little bit about his background too, to get you to be like, yeah, this is what we're doing.
Yep. So Byron, yeah. So first of all, Byron's family, when I met Byron, was in State Farm agency training. He was married. I was getting married to somebody else at the time, right? So like we were just friends. And part of the reason I was like, I need to keep that guy as a friend or close to me is because in his family, there were 6 State Farm agents.
Oh, just 6.
So I'm like, I'm going to be a State Farm agent.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be questions I don't know the answer to. I know that guy or somebody's family.
Somebody's going to know.
Somewhere of those 6, I think I'll know
somebody's
something.
going to be able to help me. So we just became like friends. I don't know, like went through training, didn't really talk. There was a couple times that we would talk. We both had won travel trips and things like that with the company and saw each other there, hung out, that kind of stuff. Then he's getting divorced. I had already been divorced. We're talking, whatever. That's kind of how we reconnected, was actually classmates of ours that were in agency training were like, you guys should talk to each other because you're right there. You're both going through this. So that's kind of how we got connected, and ended up becoming what we are now.
And what year was this?
That was end of 2017, 18, somewhere in that time frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of your transition.
Yeah, there was a lot of
transition right in that little part. Awesome.
Yeah. I lovingly tell everybody now that like the 3 years that I was a State Farm agent was like those were the hardest years of my life for several reasons, but there was a lot of personal stuff. My dad had a stroke during that time too, so there was a whole lot of stuff that took place there. But anyways, back to Byron's story. He's from Central Texas, Temple, Texas, actually. His dad was a State Farm agent for 30 plus years. His mom, serial entrepreneur, like sounds like she was an amazing woman. She had her own salon that she owned and leased out to other women and men that did hair. And then she actually owned her own home healthcare agency that Byron eventually went to work for her to kind of help build up that business also. But in his background, he played a little bit of minor league baseball. So yeah, he talks about that a little bit sometimes. He cannot throw, just for the record, he cannot throw 97 miles per hour still to this day.
Yeah.
I know people ask him that, like, come play catch with me. He's like, that was like,
right? That was a long time. I'll hurt something. Do you guys have batting cage competition still?
The only time that we've been in the batting cages together actually was I took him to a game at Wrigley because he'd never been to Wrigley before. And we went to Sluggers down the street.
Oh, yeah.
And
So who hits better?
He's a pitcher. He's not a very
there it is. And there it is. Well, he was a pitcher, so he didn't.
No,
pitchers don't go. They don't hit.
Well,
they don't really hit. He also had a major eye injury. So you talked about getting hit in the eye. He was a band guy too, and
nerd alert.
He had a drumstick to the eyeball.
A drumstick?
Yeah.
Okay, that hurts.
What's this? What is it? What is that show? That movie? What Drumline? Was he in the Drumline? Were they like attacking each other? See, there it is.
It's so funny that she mentions weird eye injuries. Yeah. When I was a kid, my brother and we were pretty dumb.
Okay.
Still are.
But we were having BB gun wars.
Not smart.
And we shot him in the eye with a BB gun. And we told our mom, we're like, oh, it was just one of those spiked bouncy balls. It just bounced up weird, hit him in the eye. So these just off weird accidents that happen with eyes.
Was it?
We're like that too.
But Byron's a better golfer. You admitted that. So at least, that swing's way better. For some reason, pitchers always end up being better golfers. How is that?
Because they got that arm strength movement thing going on,
Yeah. No, I'm following you.
Yeah.
It's the core.
I am really glad I do not have Byron's back now, though. We'll put it that way.
Oh, poor Byron in his back. Well, at least you don't have Ryan's neck, too. So,
yeah.
That's whatever.
That's, it's just, there's a few screws in there and a plate.
But things are connected well now.
Things are connected that aren't supposed to be connected when you're born. Let's just put it that way.
It is not naturally plated together at this point.
Oh, no.
All right. So, Byron, what's he do now?
Now he is a farmer's insurance agent with his brother. Mm-hmm.
A little bit in the property casualty side of life, huh?
Oh yeah, we kind of know a lot about that space. So yeah, they're up in the farmer's business.
Wait, there's history? He has some knowledge of P&C? No way. No way, it just runs in his blood.
Yeah.
Deep in his blood.
What a good center of influence or a referral partner.
No, it's a partner. I mean, we're just gonna launch our own P&C firm, and he's gonna run it. But Perfect. He doesn't know that yet. He will after this episode. But tune in at about 45 minutes in, Byron. You'll
get it. Your next step.
Don't know if you know it, but
endeavor.
That's what you're doing. So got to get all licenses around the United States. Good luck. Have fun. Know all the rules. That's awesome. I like that. Oh, Byron. All right. So kids. We didn't talk about kids either. How many kids do you got?
So I have a 9-month-old daughter, Stella, and a 15-year-old bonus son, Caleb.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Which one is the biggest handful?
She definitely is. At 9 months old, 9.5 months old, she's, I don't know. I think it's these COVID babies, like for real. She wants to do everything on her own right now. So she's trying to walk, and she's to the point where she's letting go of things now and wanting to find her balance. So
that's impressive.
We have a walker on our hands very soon, but she does not stop moving.
Is that true, Lisa? Or
Yeah, we have 2 COVID babies, my wife and I, and
they have
independent.
So
independent.
For my experience,
Good luck, Ryan. Good
my
luck.
experience, I think it's more of a girl thing.
Yeah,
Because
we have 2 girls,
most
so
of the
boys just kind of
my teammates that have girls, like the girls at a younger age, were always that way. Long story, but my wife's best friend and teammate in college married my best friend and teammate in college. And they had 2 girls. We have 2 boys. And their oldest started talking. I'm pretty sure she started talking full sentences at the age of 4 months. But is super intelligent. She can be an adult, right? Whereas at that age, my boy's like, sure.
nothing was coming.
I don't. What was that? Yeah, I don't have a gibberish machine. I don't understand what you're talking about. So I think it's more of a girl thing early on. But we'll see. We'll see what the COVID babies come out to be.
Yeah.
Little COVIDs.
Caleb is cool as a fan though. Like he's a cool, really cool kid for sure. Like he's 15, extremely independent, very focused. Like I don't know. He's got this drive that's unbelievable.
What's he wanting to be? A PNC agent? Seems to be an option.
So let's talk about that because that's a big deal for us. So we have kind of outlined for our son that when you graduate high school, you will have a property casualty, a life health, and a real estate license at the age of 18. So just plan on that before you go to college. Those things will be done.
All right. Well, he has his path.
He's selling houses.
It's his marching
He's selling
orders.
houses while in college.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's legit. I like it.
Why not?
Is he into sports?
Oh yeah, he plays basketball, and he's a big track guy too. So,
good old track.
He can run like the wind. He's super fast.
Well, I wish I was.
I can run like the wind if it was stagnant. That's
I can run.
That's me.
If the wind's at my back, like 150 miles an hour or something, like derecho, I could run really fast.
If I'm going downhill with the wind at my back, I got this.
Yeah, but Caleb was like not the best at basketball. I'm going to say as recently as 2 years ago, not the best at basketball. Like was on B team, pretty solid B team player. But dude, that kid works like nothing I've ever seen before. He has put in the work, and he's a 9th grade A team starter now. Like he
must get that
put in
from
some major work.
He must learn that from the parentals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good on you guys. Good on you. Okay, as we go to wrap this up, what message do you want to give everyone, all the prospective clients, current clients, just listeners in general around the world? Like what message do you want to give them about who you are, what you're going to achieve and whatnot?
Oh man, I feel like you should have warned me ahead of time for that question.
I don't do that. Wait till
we got thrown to the wolves too.
Wait till you listen to this IRA one. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It is what it is. You guys speak on your toes, and it comes from the heart. So.
Perfect. Okay. Probably the biggest thing for me, I say this to every one of my clients. They will all tell you this, that when you sit down and you start working with me, I truly am on your team and you're a part of my family. Like, yeah, we're going to be friends and all that jazz, but like you're a part of my family. And that comes from me wanting to be mama bear to you. Like when you're in my circle, I'll mama bear you to death. So we're going to do everything in our power to set you up right, protect you, all those good things. And that's who I am.
There it is. That's Lyndsey right there, mama bear.
Mama bear.
Mama bear.
Love
Lyndsey.
it. Mama
Perfect.
bear.
She's
Vodka
got her-
cranberry.
Vodka cranberry. Get her vodka cranberry, and you're good, right? Cheryl's was sweet tea, and you give her sweet tea, and she judges people off their sweet tea.
If they have sweet tea when she comes over, she knows they're a good person, is basically what she told us.
If you meet Lyndsey ever in life, just get her vodka cranberry, and then you're in, and she'll take care of you because she's mama bear. So, Ryan, as always.
Lyndsey, again, thank you. As always, like, subscribe, follow, share. We're on all social medias, all podcast forums, YouTube. There will be a video version of this as well as the audio. If you guys have any questions, reach out. blackmammoth.com. You'll be able to see contact information for all of us, and there will be some contact information and some of those links within podcasts and everything like that as well. Just love to hear from you guys.
Absolutely.
We're an open ear. Come talk.
Ask questions.
Exactly.
You'll get to know us more. Get to know Lyndsey. Obviously, we're in Texas. Obviously, she's in
Virtual
Dallas, so
team.
we're there now. We're all over. Hit us up. We're here to help. Here to grow your wealth in any way possible, even if it's international. Right, Lyndsey?
That's right.
I can't wait to get Jackie on the show. I really can't wait.
I'm super excited for that.
That's going to be fun. So, peace.
The preceding program was sponsored by Black Mammoth. Any awards, rankings, or recognition by unaffiliated third parties or publications are in no way indicative of the advisor's future performance or any individual client's investment success. No award, ranking, or recognition should be construed as a current or past endorsement of Black Mammoth. Information regarding specific awards, rankings, or recognitions is available on the Black Mammoth website, www.blackmammoth.com. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss. Investment strategies such as asset allocation, diversification, or rebalancing do not assure or guarantee better performance and cannot eliminate the risk of investment losses. There are no guarantees that a portfolio employing these or any other strategy will outperform a portfolio that does not engage in such strategies. This broadcast should not be construed by any client or prospective client as a solicitation to effect or attempt to effect transactions and securities or the rendering of personalized investment advice due to various factors including changing market conditions. The information discussed in this broadcast may no longer be reflective of current positions or recommendations. While information presented is believed to be factual and up-to-date, Black Mammoth do not guarantee its accuracy, and it should not be regarded as a complete analysis of the subjects discussed. The tax and estate planning information discussed is general in nature and is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal or tax advice. Listeners should consult an attorney or tax professional regarding their specific legal or tax situation. Past performance is not indicative of future results.